I've known you since the very beginning when you first ran for sheriff, and I've known you always to be a legitimate Second Amendment guy. You want to talk about that for just a second? What your views on gun ownership and Second Amendment and CCW and all the things that you've done?
Sure, that's a big statement. I could go on for a long time. I guess not knowing where you want me to go with that and what you want me to say. Obviously, my world, two different things: a personal world and a professional world. Professional being law enforcement, the oath I swore to protect our Constitution. I didn't swear an oath to protect a politician or a governor or board of supervisors, mayor, anything like that. I mean, my oath is not to a person; it's to a document, and I value that. I certainly am personally a fan of history. I always have. I mean, in school, that was probably one of my favorite subjects or most interesting anyway. And so the value of where we came from, the history of our country, the struggles, the men, and truly what we know now in the background, women that helped form our founding documents, and the importance of how great this country is truly goes back to just the document. It's not about the people. It's about people at the time, maybe, but how they formed our government and the documents that formed our government to run our country was profound. It was certainly unlike today's politics, where today's politics are personal agenda driven and maybe ideological driven. Theirs were truly freedom driven. And it was they left something and wanted something better, and they came up with a way that they were going to protect that for future generations, which is supposedly what our government is supposed to be today, and all revolving around our Constitution. So certainly, I am a fan of all of our amendments in a professional world and in a tongue-in-cheek world. In the law enforcement world, sometimes our amendments are a little bit hindrance, make our jobs a little bit more difficult. But in the end, that's by design. That's so we don't get run over by our government and controlled by our government, and wrongfully, something wrong done to us because of government, where the government doesn't have the authority. So on a personal level, I'm a huge believer and fan of our constitutional rights, our constitutional amendments, and what they mean, our Bill of Rights. So taking that into a personal world, growing up and then leaving a state where Second Amendment rights were never truly even talked about, because it just, I mean, everyone knew that you had the Second Amendment rights. And then coming to California was a little bit of a shock to me back in the early 90s when I came here. And then, of course, we all know, living in California, one of the absolute worst states in the country for gun laws. And then you take that in my world, where I know that gun laws are not meant whatsoever to keep us safe or fight crime or for public safety or anything like that. It is solely about control. And then you go back to, there's only one way to take over this country from within, and that's do away with our Second Amendment rights. No matter.
And that's really where I wanted to go. Really specifically, if someone is, not familiar with Riverside County, the county where you're a sheriff, if somebody is from outside of California looking in, and they know California's reputation and they know California's horrible gun laws that we fight against every day, and they see a sheriff arresting a gun owner, and that's the context at which they're looking at this incident, they wouldn't know that you're somebody who stood up for Second Amendment rights. You're someone who, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're someone who thinks, hey, it is a better world if sane, trained, law-abiding gun owners, or sane, trained, law-abiding people are able to own and carry guns for self-defense. That's your viewpoint?
100%.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. I'm Michael from Gun Owners Radio. If you liked what you saw, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and make a comment. Help us out. Go to gunownersradio.com. Thanks for watching.